Dear soul, come closer. I am Kaelon, one of the elders of the Arcturian Council, and I can see something magnificent happening within you right now. A transformation so profound that the person you're becoming will feel like meeting yourself for the very first time. By the end of our time together, you'll understand exactly what these evolutionary changes mean and how to navigate them with grace and confidence. But first, let me share something I've observed across many ages, something that might bring you comfort. What you're experiencing isn't breakdown, it's breakthrough. That restlessness, that sense of outgrowing everything familiar, that feeling like you're becoming someone entirely new. This is your consciousness expanding beyond the limitations it once accepted. Your frequency is indeed mutating. Your awareness is stretching into dimensions you never knew existed. The old version of yourself is dissolving, not because something is wrong, but because something magnificent is emerging. I've watched countless souls go through this exact metamorphosis, and each time, it's like watching a butterfly discover it was never meant to remain a caterpillar. You are rising into a multi-dimensional version of yourself that will think differently, perceive differently, and move through reality with an entirely new level of mastery. The Arcturian upgrades flowing through your system right now are preparing you for a way of being that your current mind can barely imagine. In this transmission, I'll reveal exactly what these upgrades are doing to your consciousness and why the person you're becoming will feel like meeting a completely different being, one who has always lived within you, waiting for this moment to emerge. Stay with me through this entire message. What I'm about to share will help you understand not just what's happening to you, but how to embrace it fully. And I'm grateful you're here with me now. I see what you've been carrying, dear one, that weight on your chest when you look in the mirror and feel like you're staring at a stranger. It's a heavy, oppressive burden, often unspoken, a silent testament to an inner world in upheaval. It's as if a veil has been lifted, or perhaps a comfortable mask removed, leaving you exposed to a self you barely recognize, a landscape within that has shifted beneath your feet. That confusion, that deep-seated bewilderment, when people affectionately reference the old you and something inside you winces, a visceral contraction, knowing that version feels not just like borrowed clothes, but like a costume from a play you've long since left. A costume that now feels terribly, painfully tight, restricting your breath, chafing your skin, a hollow echo of who you once presented to the world. And that profound ache, a spiritual homesickness, when you try to fit back into conversations, relationships, or routines that once felt like the very fabric of your being, like a perfectly tailored garment, but now feel like visiting a derelict house you used to call home. The walls are still standing, the memories linger, but the essence, the spirit, the comfortable warmth that once resided there has utterly vanished, leaving only a hollow chill. You're not losing your mind, beloved soul. This isn't a sign of mental unraveling, nor are you experiencing some catastrophic internal malfunction. You are not broken, despite what the shattered fragments of your former self might lead you to believe. You are not becoming someone you don't recognize because something inherently went wrong. On the contrary, what I've witnessed across countless souls through seasons of profound spiritual transformation is this glorious, paradoxical truth. What feels like an excruciating process of losing yourself is, in fact, the most sacred act of finding yourself. What feels like the bewildering experience of becoming a stranger to your own reflection is actually the arduous, yet ultimately liberating journey of becoming truly, profoundly authentic. That deep, pervasive discomfort you feel, that visceral recoil when attempting to inhabit the persona, the beliefs, the patterns of who you used to be, that, my dear one, is your magnificent soul, expanding and blooming, courageously refusing to shrink back down to a size it has unequivocally outgrown. It's a defiant roar from the depths of your being, declaring that the old confines can no longer contain the vastness you are becoming. It's the universe within you, expanding and demanding new horizons. I know, with every fiber of my being, that this doesn't feel like a gift in the moment. When you are suspended in the raw, messy, bewildering middle of it, transformation feels less like a blossoming and more like utter dissolution. It feels as though everything solid, everything tangible about your identity, your history, your very sense of self, is turning to liquid in your hands, seeping through your fingers like water, leaving you with nothing but emptiness and a profound sense of terror. You might catch yourself in quiet moments, a whisper of panic in your heart, thinking, "I used to be so certain about everything. My convictions were strong, my path clear. I used to know, unequivocally, who I was. What on earth is happening to me? Am I falling apart?" And in those moments of existential questioning, I want you to anchor yourself in this truth. Every single soul who has ever embarked upon an authentic awakening, every spiritual seeker who has dared to peer beyond the veil of their conditioned existence, has stood exactly where you are standing now, wrestling with exactly those same profound, disorienting questions. This is not a deviation, it is the universal rite of passage. This is what I've observed in the intricate tapestry of human spiritual evolution. Identity isn't truly lost during the process of awakening. Rather, it is subjected to an alchemical fire, refined and purified, much like gold being separated from dross. All those parts of you that feel as if they are painfully dissolving, crumbling into dust, were not the immutable divine essence of you to begin with. They were the intricate, meticulously constructed layers of persona, the coping mechanisms, the strategic adaptations you thought you needed to survive, to belong, to be deemed worthy of love, to feel safe in a world that often demands conformity. They were the elaborate costumes you wore day in and day out for so long and with such conviction that you genuinely forgot they were not your actual skin, not the truth of your inherent being. You forgot the texture of your own spirit beneath the heavy velvet and glittering sequins. And now, as your authentic, radiant, untamed true self begins to stir and courageously emerge, stretching its wings, those old costumes are no longer merely uncomfortable. They are becoming suffocatingly small, unbearably tight and exquisitely painful to wear. They are hindering the very breath of your soul. The person you are becoming, the one who sometimes feels like an unsettling stranger in the mirror, is far from unfamiliar. They are, in fact, precisely who you have always been, existing in the quiet depths, patiently waiting underneath every single layer, every single facade, every single expectation you thought you needed to embody. That new you that feels so foreign, so untamed, so deliciously unburdened. They have been waiting with infinite patience and unconditional love inside you, watching your every earnest attempt to try on different versions of yourself, different identities, different ways of being. They knew with an ancient, unwavering wisdom that eventually, through the trials and triumphs of your human experience, you would finally be ready to peel back the layers, to shed the unnecessary, and to let them fully breathe, to let them lead. They are not new at all. They are, in fact, profoundly ancient. They are the pristine, unblemished part of you that existed long before the world, with its myriad rules, its loud opinions, and its limiting beliefs, ever told you who you ought to be. They are the echoes of your soul's original song. I've watched this intricate, beautiful, and often turbulent process unfold enough times to understand its inherent rhythm. It comes in powerful, undeniable waves, much like the ocean's tide. Some days, you will feel an exhilarating sense of solidity in this new skin, an effortless confidence in this emerging identity. You'll move through the world with a sense of grace and alignment, feeling anchored, truly at home within yourself, as if you've finally found the missing piece of your own puzzle. Yet other days, you will feel utterly untethered, like you're floating adrift in a vast empty space, unmoored from everything that once provided comfort and definition. The old landmarks will have vanished, and the new ones haven't yet solidified. Both of these experiences are profoundly normal. Both are essential, integral parts of this magnificent process. In these periods of ebb and flow, your soul is undergoing a profound retraining. It is diligently learning to trust its own intrinsic authority, its internal compass, its whispered wisdom, instead of perpetually looking outside itself for permission to exist, for validation, for a blueprint of who it should be. It is reclaiming its sovereignty, one breath at a time. What makes this particular phase of transformation particularly challenging, often adding layers of complexity to an already complex journey, is that the people in your immediate orbit, those who have known and loved the old you might not immediately recognize, understand, or even welcome this profound shift within you. They might, out of habit, comfort, or even a subconscious desire to maintain their own sense of stability, try to gently or even forcefully call you back to who you used to be. This is rarely, if ever, because they wish to harm you. It's simply because that familiar version of you provided them with a sense of predictability and ease. Your transformation, while deeply liberating for you, can be profoundly unsettling for those around you, as it disrupts their own inner maps and expectations. They might utter phrases like, "You've changed," with a tone that implies criticism or disappointment, as if this evolution is something to apologize for, a flaw to be corrected. But here, my dear one, is the sacred truth I want you to remember, to etch into the very marrow of your bones. Changing is not an act of betrayal. Growing is not an abandonment of those you love. And becoming authentic, truly aligning with your soul's truth, is not and can never be an act of selfishness. It is, in its purest form, an act of radical self-love that ultimately benefits everyone it touches. As you continue to embody your true self, you will find that some relationships, the truly resilient ones, will possess the inherent elasticity, the loving capacity to stretch and expand, gracefully accommodating this vibrant new version of you. These are the connections built on a foundation deeper than superficial roles or past expectations. Others, however, might not possess that same flexibility. They may, sadly, reach their natural breaking point or simply fade as you expand beyond their capacity to meet you. And while the natural grieving process for these shifting connections can feel profoundly heartbreaking, leaving you with a sense of loss and melancholy, it is also a deeply sacred and informative process. The connections that are truly meant to accompany you on this extraordinary journey, those aligned with your soul's highest good, will instinctively find innovative and loving ways to meet you exactly where you are, to grow alongside you, even if it means navigating unfamiliar terrain together. Conversely, the relationships that consciously or unconsciously require you to remain small, to stay static, to cling to an unchanged version of yourself for their comfort or security, are serving as potent teachers. They are illuminating the crucial lessons about boundaries, about self-worth, and about what you will, and more importantly, what you will not sacrifice for the ephemeral comfort of belonging. They are showing you the true cost of dimming your light. Your new emerging identity isn't a complex philosophical treatise that you need to meticulously defend or endlessly explain to every curious or skeptical soul you encounter. It is not a performance that requires constant validation or approval from an external audience. It is, quite simply, something you are destined to live, to breathe, to embody with every cell of your being. It calls you to step into it fully, without reservation. Not to perform it, not to prove its legitimacy, but to simply be it, naturally and gracefully. The more courageously and consistently you trust this emerging version of yourself, the more you lean into its whispers and promptings, the more solid and undeniably real they become within your experience. The more diligently you honor their nascent preferences, their authentic voice, their intuitive way of moving through the world, the more natural and effortless it feels to simply be them. It's like learning to walk again, but this time you're walking on truly solid ground, guided by an internal compass that has always known the way home. If everything I've shared resonates in your bones, if you've been feeling this shift but couldn't name it, then there's something that might bring you clarity. There's a free quiz called "What Phase of Your Awakening Are You In?" It takes just 2 minutes and reveals exactly where you are on this sacred journey, whether you're in the initial stirring, the unraveling, the dark night, or already emerging into embodiment. Knowing your phase changes everything. It explains why you feel the way you feel right now. The link is in the first pinned comment. Take the quiz before you forget. Your soul already knows the answer. Now let me share with you what has profoundly helped many souls, including my own, navigate this often turbulent, yet ultimately triumphant transformation with far more grace, less agonizing resistance, and a deeper sense of inner peace. These are not quick fixes, but rather gentle yet powerful practices of alignment. Release the need to explain yourself. The very first foundational thing that has helped countless souls reclaim their energy and their truth is the courageous act of learning to stop justifying their ongoing changes. I know intellectually this might sound simple, but in practice it can feel utterly impossible, especially when well-meaning, or sometimes not so well-meaning people, continuously pepper you with questions like, "What's gotten into you lately? You're so different." Or, "Why are you being so difficult, quiet, uninterested, unlike yourself?" There's an implied judgment in these questions, a subtle demand for an explanation that often puts you on the defensive. But what I've observed time and time again is this undeniable truth. The more precious energy you expend trying to meticulously explain, rationalize, or defend your transformation, the less vital energy you have available for the arduous, beautiful, and essential work of actually living it, of embodying it. It's like trying to navigate a ship through a storm while simultaneously trying to explain the mechanics of the engine to every passerby. Your focus is divided, and your journey is compromised. You, dear one, do not owe anyone a detailed, itemized account of your spiritual awakening. Your journey is not a public trial requiring external validation. You do not need to provide irrefutable evidence that your changes are valid, necessary, or even logical to anyone else. It is a profoundly personal inner revolution. When someone comments on how you've changed, perhaps with a tinge of surprise or even concern, you might simply offer a soft smile, meet their gaze with compassion, and gently state, "Yes, I have," and allow that quiet, confident affirmation to be entirely sufficient. There is no need for further elaboration. Your evolution, your expansion, your journey toward authenticity is not a debate topic open for public discourse or collective opinion. It is not something that requires consensus approval from your social circle, your family, or even your closest friends. It is a sacred, deeply intimate process that belongs wholly and unconditionally to you alone, guided by the divine intelligence within you. This powerful practice of releasing explanation does not by any means equate to being harsh, rude, or disconnected from those around you. On the contrary, it is a profound act of self-love and energetic preservation. It means consciously protecting your precious spiritual energy and the tender, nascent stirrings of your emerging identity from the exhausting, often depleting, burden of constant explanation. Every single time you feel compelled to justify or rationalize who you are becoming, you are perhaps unconsciously asking for permission to exist in your truth. You are seeking external approval for an inner reality that is already divinely ordained. And the most liberating truth is this: you don't need permission to be your authentic self. You never did. Your existence is your permission. Your soul's calling is your mandate. Honor your new rhythms and preferences. Once you've begun the powerful practice of protecting your transformation from the exhausting demands of external explanation, something truly profound and expansive becomes possible. You can then begin the sacred work of truly listening to, trusting and honoring the subtle yet persistent new rhythms that are courageously emerging in your life. Many souls at the outset find themselves resisting these new preferences, these nascent impulses, because they might appear to be random, illogical, or entirely inexplicable based on their former identity. You might, for instance, suddenly crave profound solitude when you once thrived in constant social engagement. You might feel an inexplicable pull towards different foods, different genres of music, entirely different ways of spending your precious time, or even a profound shift in your career aspirations or your entire living environment. But here, my dear one, is what I've seen unfold across countless ages and countless individual journeys. These are far from random, capricious changes. These shifts are the authentic, unburdened self, your soul's true essence, finally finding its voice and courageously expressing preferences that were long buried, often suffocated, under layers of conditioning, societal expectations, and the heavy weight of who you thought you should be. That sudden, undeniable need for quiet, introspective mornings, perhaps spent in meditation or gentle contemplation, that is your soul, in its infinite wisdom, actively reclaiming sacred space for deep reflection, for inner communion, for the vital work of integrating your expanding consciousness. That profound loss of interest in gossip, drama, or superficial conversations that once seemed to fill your time. That is your consciousness, in its natural evolutionary trajectory, elevating beyond what no longer genuinely serves your highest vibrational frequency. That powerful magnetic pull toward the serene embrace of nature, toward previously unexplored avenues of creativity, toward deep, soul-stirring conversations that touch the very essence of existence. That is your true self, finally, gloriously, getting to choose its own nourishment, its own path, its own authentic expression, free from the constraints of its former programming. I urge you with deep compassion to try honoring these new preferences, these tender emerging aspects of yourself, without judgment, without needing to intellectualize or rationalize every single one. You don't need to construct an elaborate logical explanation for why you suddenly find solace in herbal tea when your former self was a staunch coffee connoisseur, or why the vibrant energy of crowds now profoundly drains you when they once energized your spirit. Trust with every fiber of your being that these shifts are expressions of an innate, profound intelligence, not signs of confusion or aberration. Your wise ancient soul knows, on a level far deeper than your conscious mind can comprehend, precisely what it needs to support and nourish this magnificent new version of you that is steadily, gracefully emerging into being. It is an act of deep self-attunement. Allow relationships to reveal their true nature. This next crucial step might at first feel deeply uncomfortable, perhaps even terrifying, and that is an absolutely normal and valid emotional response. As you continue to courageously become more authentic, more aligned with your true self, you will need to allow your existing relationships to naturally respond to the powerful, undeniable gravitational pull of who you are becoming. What I've consistently noticed in the journeys of many souls is a profound tendency to try and meticulously manage other people's reactions to their changes. This often involves working overtime, performing emotional acrobatics, to make everyone in their orbit feel utterly comfortable with their ongoing transformation, inadvertently stifling their own growth in the process. But here, my dear one, is the raw, unvarnished truth I've witnessed countless times. The relationships that are truly meant to endure, the connections that are built on a foundation of genuine love and soul-level recognition, will find their own resilient and beautiful ways to grow with you. They will adjust, they will adapt, and they will discover new landscapes of connection in this transformed space. Conversely, the relationships that fundamentally require you to remain small, to stay static, to cling desperately to a familiar, unchanging version of yourself, might naturally and inevitably drift away, much like autumn leaves falling from a tree. And while this natural shedding can be exquisitely painful, often triggering profound grief and a sense of loss, it is also a source of deeply sacred information. When you are ready, and I want to emphasize there is absolutely no rush, take all the time you need to grieve and process. You might try simply showing up as who you authentically are in your relationships, allowing them to adjust or not, without taking on the heavy burden or the impossible responsibility for their comfort or discomfort with your growth. This courageous act of self-honoring does not, let me be abundantly clear, mean becoming deliberately difficult, cold, or intentionally cutting people off from your life. It means showing up authentically as the person you are now, embodying your truth with integrity, and trusting with profound faith that the connections truly meant for your highest good will inevitably strengthen and deepen their roots, while those that no longer serve your evolving path will, with a natural grace and gentle inevitability, begin to fade. This delicate process helps you discern between those who loved the old version of you primarily because it served their needs, their expectations, their comfort, and those rare, precious souls who truly love the immutable essence of who you are, regardless of how beautifully and profoundly you continue to change and expand. It is a powerful lesson in discernment, a sifting of the true from the conditional. Trust your inner knowing over external validation. By now, if you've been engaging with these reflections, something subtle yet powerful may already be shifting within your sacred inner landscape. You might begin to notice fleeting yet significant moments where your inner voice feels remarkably clearer, undeniably more trustworthy, like a compass needle finally settling on true north after years of magnetic interference. The next profound thing that has helped countless souls solidify their new identity and navigate their path with unwavering confidence is the deliberate, conscious practice of learning to prioritize this internal guidance, this deep inner knowing, over any and all forms of external approval or validation. I know conceptually this sounds remarkably simple, almost self-evident, but in practice it demands a profound rewiring of deeply ingrained patterns and beliefs that might have been in place, subtly controlling your choices for decades, perhaps even for lifetimes. Your new emerging identity comes intrinsically bundled with new instincts, a heightened intuition, and fresh, clear ways of sensing what is truly right, aligned, and good for you. It's like gaining a sixth sense, a spiritual antenna that can detect subtle energies and truths. However, if you are constantly, habitually, checking these delicate inner promptings, these profound whispers of your soul, against other people's opinions, against societal norms, or against the limiting beliefs of your past, you will never truly learn to trust them fully, to give them the authority they deserve. You will remain in a state of perpetual self-doubt. Start small, dear one. Begin with seemingly insignificant decisions. When choosing what to eat for your next meal, what clothes to wear that truly feel good on your skin, or how to genuinely spend your precious free time, pause for a moment. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and deeply ask yourself what your authentic self, that wise, ancient part of you, truly wants in that moment. Then, with an act of courage and self-love, honor that impulse without feeling the need to seek confirmation, agreement, or permission from anyone else. This practice, let me assure you, is not about becoming selfish, arrogant, or dismissive of wise counsel when it is genuinely offered with love and good intention. Far from it. This is a profound, sacred process of actively rebuilding trust in your own inner authority, in your own divine wisdom, in the inherent goodness and clarity of your own soul. It is about reclaiming your spiritual sovereignty. Every single time you make a conscious choice according to your authentic preferences, according to the truth resonating within you, instead of reflexively defaulting to what you believe others expect or desire from you, you are strengthening a vital muscle. You are fortifying your sacred relationship with who you are truly becoming, laying down new neural pathways of self-trust and self-empowerment. It's like watering a seed. With each conscious choice, your authentic self grows stronger and more vibrant. Embrace the discomfort of not knowing. This final yet incredibly profound step is about cultivating a radical acceptance that transformation, by its very nature, almost always includes extended periods of not knowing. Not knowing precisely who you are, not knowing where you are going, and not knowing what the next step on your path will reveal. Many souls, understandable in their human wiring, try desperately to rush through this uncertainty, to force clarity, to grasp for answers, because the raw liminal space of not knowing can feel incredibly uncomfortable, even terrifying, like walking through a dense fog without a map. But I've watched enough journeys, seen enough souls emerge from the chrysalis, to know that this not knowing space, this fertile void, is not a mistake or a malfunction. It is, in fact, an exquisitely sacred crucible. It is the primordial, fertile void where your magnificent new identity, your truest self, is lovingly and painstakingly developing, much like a seed germinating in the dark earth before it bursts forth into the light. Instead of battling against the profound confusion, instead of futilely trying to force a clarity that isn't yet ripe, give yourself the immense, compassionate gift of permission to simply exist within the questions for a while, to float in the mystery, to breathe in the uncertainty, to surrender to the inherent wisdom of the unfolding. Allow the universe to show you, in its own perfect timing, what is next. If this message resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might also be navigating this profound journey of self-discovery. Your shared light makes the path brighter for everyone, and remember, the quiz is waiting for you in the pinned comment below. It truly is a key to understanding your current experience.